Things are really heating up behind the scenes in the Atlanta Falcons front office. Coach Raheem Morris and General Manager Terry Fontenot are closely watching the market, figuring out how to adjust the team for next season. But with limited cap space, making big decisions about adding new players is getting tougher. What do you think? Should Fontenot and Morris stay with the Falcons, or is it time for a change? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button. I'll keep you updated with all the latest news. Now let's talk about something important that's been on our minds: the Falcons' search for a new defensive coordinator. The team is actively interviewing candidates, and two big names are standing out: Wink Martindale and Lou Anarumo. Martindale, who spent last season at Michigan and has a strong track record from his time with the Ravens and as the Giants' defensive coordinator, is known for his success. Anarumo, on the other hand, has played a key role in helping the Bengals reach 2 straight AFC championship games. His adjustments and leadership on defense have earned a lot of praise. The Falcons also need to follow the NFL's Rooney Rule, which requires teams to interview at least one minority candidate for the position before making a final decision. This search is especially important after a tough season for the defense, which ranked 23rd in yards allowed. The team knows it needs to make a change to improve next season. The Falcons' defense clearly needs a major overhaul. They finished 31st in sacks and near the bottom in other key areas, so the next defensive coordinator needs to make a big impact. Now, let's talk about free agency. Pro Football Focus has thrown out an interesting idea: Cowboys cornerback Jordan Lewis. With the Falcons already tight on cap space after signing Kirk Cousins, they'll have to be smart with their moves. Lewis, a former third-round pick from Michigan, has solid experience in the nickel position. He's known for his physical tackling and reliability in coverage. Plus, his versatility in the secondary makes him a cost-effective option to replace D. Alford, who hits free agency in March. But the Falcons have more tough decisions ahead. Key players like Mike Hughes, Lorenzo Carter, and Justin Simmons are all set to become free agents. That means the defensive roster could look very different next season. GM Terry Fontenot has hinted that the team may consider trading back in the draft to gather more picks, as they only have 3 selections right now. The Falcons will need both talent and depth on defense, so expect a mix of smart free agent signings and careful draft moves in the months to come. And as for the defensive coordinator search, a few other names are in the mix. Steve Wilks, who just helped the 49ers reach the Super Bowl, is a strong candidate. He's also familiar with the NFC South from his time as the Panthers' head coach, making him a potential fit for the Falcons. There are a few other intriguing names in the mix for the defensive coordinator job. Robert Saleh, currently with the Jets, is one to watch. While he's expected to be linked with San Francisco, Atlanta could offer him a fresh start and a chance to rebuild a young defense. Another name being mentioned is Rex Ryan. Though he's been out of coaching and working as an analyst, his defensive expertise and fiery personality could bring some much-needed energy to the Falcons' defense. Then there's Dennis Allen, the former Saints head coach. While his time as a head coach has been up and down, his success as a defensive coordinator is hard to ignore, especially considering how he's maximized the talent in New Orleans. So, Falcons fans, here's the big question. Who would you like to see leading the defense next season? Should the Falcons go with a seasoned coach like Wilks, or take a chance on someone younger with more potential? And what about Jordan Lewis? Would he be a good fit for the secondary? Now, let's talk about some exciting Falcons news from the wide receiver group. Last season, the Falcons came within just 8 yards of making franchise history. Drake London and Darnell Mooney were electric, nearly becoming the first Falcons wide receiver duo to each surpass 1,000 yards in a single season since 2012, when Roddy White and Julio Jones set the bar. London ended the season with an impressive 1,271 yards, while Mooney finished just behind with 992 yards, despite missing the season finale with a shoulder injury. So close, yet so impactful. Offensive coordinator Zach Robinson had nothing but praise for the duo and their potential. Offensive coordinator Zach Robinson had nothing but praise for the dynamic duo of London and Mooney, highlighting how their complementary skill sets and relentless competitive drive make them a joy to coach. Robinson also noted that their passion for the game lifts the entire team's performance. This is exactly the kind of firepower you want leading the charge for the offense. What's even more impressive is that these two put up impressive numbers while adjusting to not one, but two quarterbacks throughout the season. Kirk Cousins led the team through Week 15, and then rookie Michael Penix Jr. took over for the final stretch. Despite the changes at quarterback, London reached a career high in yards, while Mooney had his second-best season ever, narrowly missing the 1,000-yard milestone he hit with the Bears in 2021. Penix himself recently praised both London and Mooney, calling them two of the best in the league. High praise from a young quarterback still finding his rhythm in the NFL. So, what does the future hold for this wide receiver group? Key returners for 2025 include London, Mooney, Ray McLeod III, Casey Washington, and Chris Blair. But there are some big decisions to make, especially with free agency looming. Rondale Moore, who was acquired in a trade with Arizona for Desmond Ridder, showed promise but was sidelined for the entire 2024 season after a knee injury in training camp. There's still a lot of upside with Moore, though, and the Falcons could bring him back. Wide receivers coach Ike Hilliard has spoken highly of Moore's potential, describing him as a downfield threat with great hands and impressive yards after catch ability. His injury was definitely a setback, but his future with the team could be bright. There's definitely optimism that Rondale Moore could make an impact next season if he stays healthy. So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Should the team bring him back and let him prove himself, or should they focus on the draft or free agency to strengthen the wide receiver depth? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Now, what a season it was for Robinson, right? The guy was absolutely unstoppable, racking up 1,456 rushing yards, third best in the entire NFL. He was running with power, averaging 4.8 yards per carry on an impressive 304 attempts. But it wasn't just about the yards. Robinson found the end zone 15 times, including 14 rushing touchdowns and one through the air. Talk about dominance. Let's not forget about Tyler Allgeier either. He might not have grabbed as many headlines, but his contributions were clutch. Allgeier put up 644 rushing yards, more than any other backup running back who didn't start a single game this season. The guy just keeps grinding out yards and keeping defenses on their toes. Remember that incredible 18-yard run in Week 6 that earned him an Angry Runs nomination? That was pure vintage Allgeier. Together, Robinson and Allgeier powered the Falcons to a total of 2,132 rushing yards this season. That's the third straight year Atlanta has rushed for over 2,000 yards, a feat that's only been accomplished 18 times in franchise history. And get this, Robinson accounted for nearly 70% of that total in just his second season. Talk about a rising star. Here's the big question heading into 2025. Can Robinson keep up this massive workload? He had 365 touches last season, second only to Saquon Barkley, across the entire league. And honestly, those Barkley comparisons are spot on. Robinson finished fourth in the NFL with 1,887 yards from scrimmage, proving he can handle a heavy load. But let's be real. All those touches start to add up, and staying healthy long-term will be crucial for his career. The good news is that Falcons GM Terry Fontenot is already thinking ahead. He's made it clear that the team plans to be smart with Robinson's usage while still keeping him at peak performance. Fontenot praised Robinson's incredible work ethic and how he takes care of his body, calling him a special player and an even better young man. So, what's next for this backfield? With more stability at quarterback next season, Robinson might not need to carry as much of the load, but if he does, he's already proven he's more than capable. Falcons fans, what do you think? Can Robinson keep up this elite level of production? Will Tyler Allgeier continue to be the perfect complement to him? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for all the latest Falcons updates. Rise up, go Falcons!